As you see here, we're back with a movie review, The Raid 2, directed by Gareth Evans. If you haven't seen my movie review for the first one, click right here and come back later. Anyway, we have the same director, and the cast this time is bigger, and again, I can't pronounce the name, so go below. So what's it about this time? Well, basically, it takes place right after when the Raid 1 ends, and we got our main character, Rama, who basically is thrown into this undercover world to save his life because he can do it because he's such a low profile, and he is pretty much trying to get him into this family where he'll figure out things out and try to connect money traces or whatever, and that's pretty much the entire movie. So what do I like about this film? Well, first off, the fighting is intense here. The choreo, holy crap, like when you watch the first one, it looks awesome. This one is awesome. Though I have to say, sometimes maybe the intensity would be a lot more intense throughout the entire scope of the film in the first one compared to the second one. The second one has more set pieces of intensity rather than the entire thing, because I think that's really based on the storyline, as there's a bigger story here, and the pacing is changed compared to the first one, where the first one was, let's go up the building and let's fight every time we see somebody. But this time now there's a fight, and then there's a story, and there's more progression of character and progression of this world that they're creating, and then another fight. And I really did enjoy that switch back and forth thing, as in, it was done well and it was balanced well. I think it was in a sense where the intensity sort of like fed through into the other story as it gets bigger and bigger, and I just really enjoyed it. And also, in terms of fighting itself, the major difference here is that in the first one there wasn't a major epic fighter until the very end, and this time it's the same thing, but there was more than just one person. I really did enjoy that. And if you watch Old Boy, the hammer scene, man, the Raid 2, I'm sorry to say, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Raid 2 has a hammer scene, and it owns Old Boy. Like, it owned it, and I was just like, wow, can't believe that happened. So yeah, overall, I really did enjoy this film, and there wasn't really much that I didn't like about it. I mean, you could sort of stretch it and say the storyline's kind of convoluted, as it was trying to be too smart for itself, but really, I think it was fine, and I really enjoyed it for the fight scenes, and I would say the fighting really was contextualized to his character this time around. I mean, the brutality, and actually it wasn't as brutal as the first one, I would say. Sometimes he would just, you know, fight them and make them out of commission, and not really intense killing moment. And I think I appreciate that much more compared to the first one, where a lot of times it was like overkill, whoa. But this time it's like, whoa, this one, yeah. I think there's a lot more thugs and just minions overall, so he doesn't have to go all out. And there are some epic scenes, and I wouldn't say it's too brutal, but there are some brutal scenes, and it would be overkill. But I don't know, I changed my view on the Raid pretty much. I expect these things for the sequel and also the third one, which I'm totally looking forward to, but I guess we have to wait 2 to 3 years, as the director Gareth Evans has said that he would wait 2 to 3 years before filming. And it's also an interesting storyline, as apparently the Raid 3 takes place 2 hours before the movie ends in the Raid 2. So there's going to be an overlap between the Raid 2 and Raid 3. I hope they do it well. When there's overlap, I tend to think of like the Saw series, and that was such a gong show of just overlapping, of just like, why would you do that to a film series? But yeah, I totally look forward to the third one, and I cannot wait what Gareth Evans will do in between Raid 2 and Raid 3. I do look forward to the rest of the cast. I do hope they get more, you know, films in general, because they're just pretty badass, and I cannot wait to see them more in fightings and whatever. So yeah, as always, if you have anything to say, leave it below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that's pretty much it for this movie review for The Raid 2. Out.